What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr, and today I'm finally able to bring you what a lot of you have been requesting, and that is a pure Red Dragon Archfiend build. Now, as a disclaimer, it kind of comes down to your definition of pure. So this does involve 5 bestial monsters. Whether you count that as enough to deteriorate it and make it a Red Dragon Archfiend bestial deck, then by all means, that's what the deck is. But it's still being utilized as a hand trap and extender for the deck all in between. So I want to make sure that at the start of the video, you're not being misled. That is exactly what it involves. And even the picture for the thumbnail will show that as well. That being said, massive shout out to Terry, who's actually provided me with this list. This is a list that he's been able to top multiple locals with, even winning locals, all pre-Justice Hunters, and even given a good run at the Justice Hunters, being able to get into the top 4 of those particular events as well. So massive shout out to him who provided me this list, and I thought what better way to give you a list than one that has been tried, tested, and true. So, with all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so you miss out on any more upcoming content. Diving headfirst into our resonators, we're going to be maxing out on Free Soul Resonator. This is your ideal starter for the entire Red Dragon Archfiend Resonator element of the entire deck. It's just such a good start that on normal special you get to add a level 4 or lower fiend from the deck to the hand except itself. You can't special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Dark Synchros, which is absolutely fine because that's exactly what you're going to be doing anyway. Then the other resonators to back this up is 2 Vision Resonator. This one again is just such an amazing addition. Like the structure that we received for the Red Dragons was insane. So if a level 5 or higher Dark Monster is on the field, so any of your bestials, you get to special summon this card from the hand. You can only special summon it once per turn this way. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you get to add a spell or trap that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend from the deck to the hand, and straight away that's going to get you into access for cards like Crimson Gaia, but can also then work your way into Red Zone as well. Carrying on, we are on the 1 Crimson Resonator, and this is one of the ones that it kind of sometimes prior you want to play it at free. If you are playing a full-on 100% pure, you play it at free. Because this is one of the ones that if you control no monsters, you special summon it, and it's just such a great extender because you play this, and then the only other monster you control is exactly 1 Dark Dragon Synchro monster. You get to special summon up to 2 Resonator monsters from the hand or deck except itself. So it's so good to be able to do something like that, because then that will allow you, once you're controlling a card like your Red Rising, just build and build and build and build, and it's just really kind of cool. But it's less consistent on a build that involves the bestials. Only on 100% pure would you want to max it out at free. With this lineup, you're quite happy with 1. The same for the Synchron Resonator as well. 1 is more than enough. Moving on to the Fiend monsters that you're going to want to be searching, sending, you name it, we are going to be on Free Bone Archfiend, backed up by 1 Oppressive Overloop and 1 Red Lotus Flame Crime. Now, your Bone Archfiend is such an ideal piece for this entire strategy. So if this card is in the hand or grave, you send 1 other card from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon it. You can't special summon monster from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Dark Dragon Synchros, which is exactly what you're locking yourself into anyway. On top of that as well, you get target a face-up monster you control that has a level. You send a Fiend tune-up from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, increase or decrease the level of that monster. So one of your ideal ones you can send is going to be your Obsessive Overloop, because this has the ability to bring itself back from the graveyard, and you just get more access to another level 4 tuner. The Red Lotus King, Flame Crime. So during the main phase, if you control a Fiend Tuner or your opponent controls a special on monsters, you get a quick effect to special on this card from the hand. If this card is special, you get to inflict 400 damage to your opponent for each fire monster you control with different names. If it's sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you get to send a normal trap from the deck to the grave, and the benefit of that is where your Red Rain is going to come into play, because you send this, and then if you control a level 8 or higher Synchro, you banish all monsters on the field except those monsters with the highest level. The remaining face-up monsters on the field are unaffected by other card effects, but if a Dark Dragon Synchro monster is Synchro summoned to the field while this card is in the graveyard, you get to add it back to the hand. So with Flame Crime being able to send it, you're ending your field on stuff like Red Rain and a Red Zone, which are incredible ways of disrupting your opponent. Then moving on to the supporting members of this one. So we are on 2 of the Earthbound Prisoner Stone Sweeper. Now, don't go absolutely crazy to try and get hold of this card if you don't already own it, as it is due a reprint. I believe it's going to get reprinted in the upcoming deck building set. And I say recently, like that's not going to be until December, but these are currently like £10 a copy. It's absolutely crazy. If there is a card in the field zone, you get to special summon this card from the hand, but that's not what you're going to be using it for. You're going to use it for its discard effect to then add a level 3 or lower Fiend Tuner. So that's going to get access to all of your Resonators, resonators. So ideally, what you're trying to do here is go for your starter in the Soul Resonator. And if you already have this, you'll then look at your extender of the Vision Resonator. And then you've also got your Synchron Resonator, Crimson Resonator, you name it. So you're basically just trying to add your way into your other tuner monsters, which is why you can afford to play this at less as well. The other benefit of that one is instantly turn 0, you get to put a dark in the graveyard to set up your Bystials. So you can then use your Lubellion to work you into a Saronir, a Baldrake, a Magnamut, or of course a Druid Swarm. And then through your Lubellion, you'll summon one of these down by banishing the Stone Sweeper. Lubellion will then send it from the field to the grave to then give you access to the Branded Regained, which is obviously amazing in the Malice matchup, that every time they want to banish, you go, whoop, nope, back into the main deck, and you get to draw a card. Not to mention that you also get to summon back your Bystials, so you're going to be able to loop these around eternally is going to be insane. Then for your other spell cards, 2 of the Crimson Gaia. So during the main phase, you get to add a Red Dragon Archfiend or a card that mentions it from the deck or grave to the hand, except itself. When your Red Dragon Archfiend specifically declares an attack, you get to change all monsters your opponent controls to face down defense vision. If a monster or monsters on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you get to special summon a Red Dragon Archfiend from the grave. Only use each effect once per turn, but this is like your ideal one. You search out the piece you need, you send it with Bone Archfiend, and off you go. Carrying on with consistency for the deck, 3 Resonator Call. And then your trap cards of your 1 Red Zone and 1 Red Rain. So we've already gone over Red Rain, but with Red Zone, so when your opponent activates a card or effect while you control Red Dragon Archfiend or a Synchro that mentions it, you get to target a card on the field and destroy it. As an additional effect, you also have the ability to target one of your banished Dark Dragon Synchro monsters and special summon it. So that's how you can also get access to maintaining your Red Dragon Archfiend onto the field. So that's it for the entire main deck monsters, facilities, and everything else in between. The next cards I'm going to show you are your hand traps, and these can all be adapted and utilized depending on the environment you're going to. So we've got 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Backing this up with 3 DD Crow. So this is like your ideal hand trap of the format alongside your Ghost Ogres. So you adapt those, like if Droll's going to be better in your environment, go for Droll. If Perulia is better for you, then go Perulia. If Bell is better, then go for Bell. Like you've just got so many different options, you adapt it to that environment that you're trying to go to. Then 3 Multrami Fuelos. And then 3 Forbidden Droplet as your breaker. What's really nice about this, and there is an additional card in the extra deck that's going to get more utility out the back of this, is that this is going to give you the ability to set yourself up for a Void Ogre Dragon, but also it's just a way to be able to disrupt your opponent's Yummy field. It's also a way to be able to send some of the cards to the graveyard, because you have some cards that say if it's on the field or in the hand or graveyard, do A. So you might as well get double benefit by putting it in the graveyard and then bring it back from there. So that's it for your disruptors in your hand trap. So this element can be adapted to the environment and anything else specifically you need. Moving on to the extra deck. So we'll start with our level 6 Synchros, 2 Red Rising Dragon. So as mentioned previously, this just combos off so well with the Red Crimson. So it requires a Fiend Tuner and then 1 or more non-tuner. When it is Synchro summoned, you target a Resonator monster in your graveyard to special summon it. So the card you're going to want to special summon 99.99999% of the time, once I find it, is going to be, right at the bottom, of course it would be, the Crimson Resonator. So you bring this back, and then that's when your effect of this one is if you control no monsters, you special summon it from the hand. But then its secondary effect, if the only other monster you control is a Dark Dragon Synchro, you get to tribute there, you get to then get access to 2 more tuners, and that's how you're going to start Synchro climbing even higher. So backing this up with the 1 Cully Belt, it's just a level 7 Dark Dragon Synchro. When you're locking yourself into them, you need to utilize as many of them as you possibly can to give you as much advantage as possible. Then for the 8s, we've got the 1 Void Ogre Dragon. I really like this as an option. So a Dark Tuner, it's a Dark Dragon Synchro. And then once per turn during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you have no cards in your hand, you negate the activation, and if you do it, negate the activation and destroy it. Now the benefit of something like this, backed up with something like Forbidden Droplet, is you can utilize Forbidden Droplet first, send any of the cards you have in your hand, and then go with the Void Ogre Dragon to then give you another negation, as well as everything else you're going to have on the field. Because it's not just going to be your Void Ogre Dragon and Forbidden Droplet. You're going to end up with like a Void Ogre Dragon plus like Red Dragon Archfiend, Red Rain, Red Zone, you name it. For the other 8s, we've got the 1 Scarred Dragon Archfiend backed up by 2 Red Dragon Archfiends, because obviously you can summon one and Scarred can get you the other, and you can loop them around and you name it. For the other 8, we've got the 1 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. This is just a really nice field clear, as well as then the additional burn damage as well could be quite helpful for you. 1 Bills the Diabolical Dragons. This makes matchups so awkward for your opponent because no one really respects Bills in this day and age. So can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. when you take damage from an attack involving this card or from an opponent's card effect, this card gains attack equal to that damage. So this is your way to out towers in this deck. It's just such an incredible like mini towers for this deck. It's really, really cool. For the 9s, 2 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend's Abyss. And then for the 10s, we've got the 1 Bestial Dispatter. The only monster that isn't a Dark Dragon Synchro is your Chaos Angel, but you can very easily make this. So this is your Bestial Lubellion plus your Vision Resonator. Once I get to them. So Bestial Lubellion plus your Vision Resonator. And when you're able to access this, your Chaos Angel with a light and a dark, all of your synchros are going to be nearly impossible to deal with. It's just insane. And then the final ones that we are playing is the 1 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. And the final monster is your Red Supernova Dragon. So both very easily accessible in this deck. That's the whole idea of Red Dragon Archfiend, is constantly being able to spam level 8 Dark Dragon monsters. And then these little resonators that are just there to help exceed their power play. And it's really kind of cool to utilize and see. Anyway, massive shout out to Terry. Thank you very much for the entire list. Like I said, he's been doing very, very well. This is one of his pet decks, and if I had the chance to be able to see him to get him to do his profile, I would have done. Unfortunately, we've all been away at like UK Open and everything else in between. I've been away, so he sent me over the list, and it's taken me a while to get this out for you guys. I know you all kind of wanted to see it after the Centurion build, but I've just been really, really busy like leading up to the UK Open. So apologies for the delay. Here it is. Hopefully it meets your expectations. Hopefully it gives you an idea how to update your build for this current format as well. If you do have any questions, by all means, please put in the comments down below. I will do my best to answer them. But if there's anything specific about this exact list here, then Terry should be able to answer them for you as well. So you'll get everything you need. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Do like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe. And of course, happy dueling.